Welcome back, everyone. Today we're talking about the jig head minnow again. We're going to talk about the old favorite. It's funny that it's kind of overlooked now, but the Z-Man scented jerk shads. I mean, this is the OG, but there's so many fancy Japanese baits out there that this one gets overlooked. It's not as flashy, but it works. I'll tell you my experiences fishing with it for the last few years and recently, and what I have come to appreciate about this bait. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this content. This channel is all about bass fishing, tackle trends, and I share a lot of, my recent fishing trips. And my last trip out, I went out with my son. He's almost 10. We spent most of the day trying to catch bluegill. It was really, really fun time. We caught some bluegill, catfish, crappie. I mean, really the goal was to catch some fish to take home to eat. We don't do that very often, but we did it, had a good time. And I did catch some bass. I did do a little bit of bass fishing and really limited bass fishing, but we're spot locked out there catching bluegill, deep bluegill, night crawlers, things like that. But I was watching my forward facing sonar still. It's just a habit. I was watching it even though we were on spot lock out in the middle of the lake, Lake Austin in Texas. And every once in a while I'd see what looked like bass. So I'd cast over there and I'd catch one. I mean, it was really pretty easy. And the bait was this right here, the scented jerk shad. This is the Z-Man bait. It's the same as the Z2 or the baby Z2 from Strike King. Z-Man makes it. You can see it on the package there. But it is such a good bait, and it's what I used when I first started this whole mid-strolling fishing. And now we have so many fancy baits, and I've done reviews on all of them. Talking about the Sakamata shad, or the fish roller, or the jackal drift fry, the drift fry mellow, and all these different baits. There's so many really good ones out there, but the simple jerk shads and all the different sizes, or the Z2, is really hard to beat. And it was really good that day. Like I said, I was really limited on where I was fishing it, or really how much bass fishing I did. But I have it rigged up on this 1/8 ounce range roller. So it's a really light setup. And this is a very buoyant plastic. Obviously it's that stretchy elastic material. It's really buoyant. So what that's gonna mean, especially with a light head, it falls so slow, painfully slow. But that was what those fish wanted that day. Like I said, again, I didn't fish for bass that much, but every bass that I saw floating out there, just about every bass I saw floating out there, cast it out there, let it fall. That slow fall was critical. There's certain days where you just can't do it because the wind or the waves or whatever it was, but this was a pretty calm day. But that slow fall, especially in clear water, they would race up and get it almost every time. It was really incredible. And that's the difference. And when I would go for a buoyant bait like this, obviously it's also very durable as well. I mean, this is the same bait that I caught 4 or 5 fish on. The hook is actually a little bit bent before this bait is actually damaged or shows any sign of wear. But it's something I think is kind of overlooked. Everyone's looking at the flashy new minnows, but this bait is really, really incredible, especially for those times when you want that slower fall. Obviously you can use a heavier head, you can do whatever you want, you can use bigger sizes. There's a lot of ways to get it to sink faster. But that day, and it's actually happened several times that I can think of, they want that slower fall, and I think that is what makes this bait so deadly. It's also, the colors aren't like flashy. I mean, there's some that are really crazy. I mean, like the Pro Northern Perch, caught a lot of fish on that one. That one's really gaudy, but just a color like this, like the Smelt or the Arkansas Shiner are really kind of muted. They're really simple. And again, the durability is crazy good on these things. But that buoyancy is something that I think is overlooked by a lot of people. There's times when you want that slower fall. Obviously, when you're fishing, really, really deep, you want to get it down to those fish sooner. But I would still catch them in 25 or 30 feet with this slow fall. They would race up 8 to 10 feet and grab it and meet it as it was falling. So that's the times when it really, really shines, in my opinion. And I think, as anglers, we were always looking at the latest and greatest, the flashiest stuff from Japan. I'm guilty of that as well. But there are times when just something so simple is all you need. But yeah, I really have fished this for years and years. I mean, this used to be my favorite drop shot bait, especially got so many big smallmouth on these, up north. And it is kind of an overlooked bait for mid-strolling. Even though Gussie won the classic with this technique, with his moping technique, it's still kind of overlooked. You hear it mentioned, but everyone's kind of gravitating to those, like I keep saying, all those more flashy baits. But sometimes it pays to just take a look at the simple bait right here, the Z-Man jerk shads, the scented jerk shads, the streaks, baby Z2 from Strike King, or the Z2. They are really, really good, and they catch fish. Thanks for watching. Let me know how you fish this bait. It's a really awesome bait for a lot of different applications, but again, I just don't think it's talked about enough. Thanks for watching.